Greetings and salutations, friends. Character NPC here, back for another stream. Getting ready to begin the solo 1st edition Advanced Dungeons & Dragons campaign. Cannot wait to begin adventuring. I've been gone for a few days after Hurricane Beryl hit, took out my electricity and my internet for 3 days or so I'm a little bit behind schedule. So, we're about to work up Aetbert Cuthman, another cleric in the party. A 2-cleric party. 2 clerics, a fighter, an illusionist thief, a ranger, and a magic user. I really like these characters. I like the way things are progressing. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope they don't die too quickly. I'm skeptical that any of them will really survive, but hey, that's how 1st edition AD&D goes. Death and destruction and mayhem for the characters, basically. But enough about that, friends. Let's look over Aetbert Cuthman. After rolling him up the other day, or at least his ability scores along with everyone else's, as I mentioned in another stream, 36 rolls and not a single 17 or 18. I just completed our fighter. His name was Randall Windsor. Randall Windsor's done, except for his equipment, for the most part. A few other stats I need to fill in for encumbrance once I have his equipment on him. And now we're getting along to our, it's Cleric number 1, because I kind of worked this from the bottom up, since most of the best ability scores were rolled up down here at the bottom. We did Cleric number 2, the very first one. Willem Pembroke. And Aetbert here, with his age being 20. I wish that he had been 21, because then he would have gotten a +1 to his wisdom and could have been a 17 and had 6 level cleric spells. But no, the dice failed me. The 4-sided failed me, and he ended up being 20. So I had to take 1 off of his wisdom instead. So he's a 15. He'll gain it back next year, but it'll only ever be 16, unless there's a wish or something else in the game that raises it. And brought him up 1 in Constitution, so he has a 13 Constitution. I'll just get that down while I'm thinking about it. 10 Intelligence, a 15 Wisdom, because it went down 1, a 14 Strength, a 12 Charisma, and a 16 Dexterity. Nice. He's got the highest dexterity next to the thief. How about that, friends? Alright, and so with that done, let us get down to some other business at hand. Age. I've got his age down at 20. So we can add that. And since I'm on this side, I might as well go ahead and roll up his weight and everything. And as per usual, height and weight is in the Dungeon Master's Guide. It's actually part of what you do when you're rolling up random non-player characters. but it's the way you roll up things for your player characters too. And we're going to start out with, let's see, he's human, so we need to roll percentile with the 20 being high. For height, 72, so he is average height. And weight, 91. Wow, okay, he's overweight. Under, or average height, but overweight. He's living the good life. And that means that his average height would be 72. So he is, I always get this wrong, 6 feet, or 5 feet is 60 inches. So he's 6 feet even. Right? Let me just confirm that. Yes. 72 is 6 feet. So, his weight is 175 plus over is going to be 5 to 60. Let's see. What is that? 5 12-siders. 5d12. I only have one 12-sider, so 9, 18. Well, let's write them all down. 9, 9, 2, 12. Boy, he's going to be a chunky boy. And 7. Alright. Let's see. So that's going to be 25, 27, 37, 39. Plus 39. And he's already 175. So he's 214 pounds. It's going to be male. 6 foot 214. And his hair will be, let's make his hair blonde. And his eyes blue. Okay. And I might as well go ahead and roll up his gold. For a cleric, 3d6 times 10. Hmm. 60. Not great. %. Alright. I think that's pretty much what's here on the back other than his encumbrance. Oh, we'll do his experience. Cleric reaches 2nd level with 1501 experience. 1501. Okay. And I guess I could do his encumbrance because I know his strength is 14. And that makes his strength adjustment for 14 plus 200. All right. Otherwise, with a strength of 14, it's normal, no hit die adjustment, no damage adjustment, open doors on a 1 to 2, just like everybody else, bend bars, lifts gates, 7%. Additional languages. With a 10, he gets 2. There's no spell, he's not a mage, so magic user, so he doesn't need that. Wisdom is a 15, which gives him +1 magical adjustment. And bonus spells with a 15, he gets 2 first, 1 second. 2 first, 1 second. And a 0% chance of spell failure. I think I rolled up, or I wrote down, let's see, oh, because he had a 14 wisdom, that's right, instead of it going up to 16, where he was going to go up to 17, he went down to 15, he went down to 14. Okay, we're good. Disaster narrowly avoided. And dexterity adjustments 16, he gets a +1 to reaction and attack adjustment. And his defense adjustment is -2. Excellent. Constitution. Is a 13, so he doesn't get a hit point adjustment. System shock 85%, 95% for resurrection. Oh, 90%. Not 95. And charisma. Let's see. Charisma of 12. 5 henchmen. Loyalty base is normal. Reaction adjustment is normal. Okay. And there aren't any savings throws or anything else of that nature adjustments because he's a human. So go ahead and fill this out as not applicable. No one has psionics. In this party, at least. I think he gets 2 weapon proficiencies, I want to say. For Cleric, yes. 2 weapon proficiencies with a -3 penalty for non-proficiency. Not too shabby. And for the Cleric at first level, paralyzation, poison, death magic is 10. Petrification polymorph is 13. Rod, stabs, and wand is 14. Breath weapon 16. Not great. Don't want to face any dragons. Spell is 15. Also not great. Alright. I think turning is here somewhere. Yes. Love the original Dungeon Master screen, AD&D Dungeon Master screen. First level Cleric attempting to turn first level skeletons 10. Zombie 13. Ghoul 16. Shadow 19. White 20. And that's it. Everything else cannot be turned. Though I tell you what, I don't want to run up into any whites or shadows or even ghouls. Even if I can turn them, no thank you. Level draining is definitely a fear of my characters. Not that they know what a level is or anything, but you know. Ghouls paralyze. Okay, let's see. Was the to hit adjustment? There wasn't one. No. Damage adjustment? No. But there will be some adjustments in here for bows and such. I'll work that out later, how I'm going to use that box, or maybe not use that box at all. Not quite sure. Alright. Is there anything else over here? I could go ahead and could add some weapons, but I think I'm going to go back and forth. I mentioned in another stream the Lucerne hammer. Hammers can be thrown. So the value to me of having a melee weapon which can also be thrown is interesting. But depending on the amount of damage, the rate of fire, and some other things, since there are two weapons adjustments, two weapon proficiencies with a cleric, I may just want to go with, something else, like a sling. I think clerics can use slings. Where is that? There's a place where it lists. Is this it? No. What weapons a class can... Here we go. Cleric, club, flail, hammer, mace, staff. Oh, great. So, yeah, if a cleric wants to be able to use a ranged weapon, that's it. Not even a sling. Druids can use slings, darts, daggers. Interesting. I don't remember it being that way. Thieves can't use bows. I did not realize that. I thought a thief could use a bow. Huh. Well, then that means that Jorvis Bicklemole will be using a sling. Svaldi Mundai, our magic user, will be using daggers, since he can use them in melee and throw them. The thief gets 2 weapon proficiencies, so short sword and sling. Fighters don't have to worry about it. Rangers don't have to worry about it. Be using bows and swords. Yeah, the clerics, I think, are going to be using flails and hammers, or maybe just hammers. I'm going to have to look up the Lucerne hammer and decide on if that's something that makes sense. Some special types of weapons, even though they use the word hammer or axe in it and things, they're very different. And I think the Lucerne hammer, if I'm not mistaken, has a big pikey spike looking like thing on one side and a hammer on the other, and it may not throw well. I'll have to see how that is. But that would be, let's see, Lucerne hammer does good damage, 2 to 8 for small to man size, 1 to 6. Regular hammer does 2 to 5, 1 to 4. And it just lists a hammer here. It doesn't list a lucerne hammer, while it does distinguish between light and heavy bolts and bullets and sling stones, so it wouldn't surprise me if the lucerne hammer cannot be thrown. Rate of fire 1. So if you took 2, you could use maybe depending on how heavy hammers are. This hammer is 2 feet with a speed factor of 4. So the amount of room it takes, you could stand 2 clerics abreast, or a fighter and a cleric. That might work out well. And the hammer has some good, no minuses, and a couple of benefits here at 5th, armor class 5 and armor class 3. I wonder why not. Oh, because that would be including a shield. Yeah. But the lucerne hammer, you see, is so much better. Lots of pluses down here. Much slower, a little bit more of a more space. So this probably is actually a pole arm. Wouldn't surprise me if a lucerne hammer is a type of pole arm. Again, I'm gonna have to look it up on the internet and find some real medieval weaponry images to understand better what that is. If anyone is ever looking at these charts and saying, well, what's a bec de corbin? What's a bilga's arm? These are pole arms, and they're very interesting, and they were all designed to do different things against attackers on horseback, usually pulling them off or grabbing different appendages, you know, fighting heavy horse with lance. These things give you different advantages for setting against charges and an attack and these kinds of things. So yeah. Alright. Well, that brings me to spells, I believe. Let's look up cleric spells, because there's not much more to this character. Cleric at first level gets 1, of course. But with the bonus, it should really be 3 and 1. I know his holy symbol is going to be the one from St. Cuthbert, which I think is either a cudgel or a billet of wood, something like that. I'll have to go back and look at it. Oh yeah, and because he's a cleric, I don't need to worry about starting spells. He'll just be able to pray for what spells he wants. But it'll be nice to start out with a 2nd level spell. So he'll even have Spiritual Hammer once a day. Or Hold Person. Oh yeah. Now we're talking. I could have, let's see, 3 first and 1 second. Could be 2 Cure Light Wounds, a light spell, or maybe a Sanctuary or something. Could maybe use Sanctuary if I can cast that on somebody else. I'm not sure if I can or not, but that would be good to try and keep the magic user alive. He's only got 2 hit points. Oh yeah, hit points. Hello. Gotta roll hit points. I don't think I rolled hit points for the fighter in my last video. And hit die for what is a cleric? 1 die 6? Let's see. First level, 1 8-sided die. He's an acolyte. 1 8-sided. Here we go. 4. Pretty darn average. Gets no constitution adjustment. Okay. And I completely forgot to roll on the fighter, Randall Windsor. So I better do that now. And fighters are 10-sided. But let's just confirm that. Yes. 1 10-sided die. Starts out as a veteran. Let's do this. Roll down here. Four as well. Hooray. Alright. I had to backtrack here to Randall Windsor, the fighter, but he has 4 hit points and does not have a constitution adjustment. Less than 50%, sadly. So far, it turns out that I don't have a single character that can take a hit off of something, you know? I mean, like, a bow is going to do, an arrow is going to do 1 to 6. So, that can kill, 1 arrow can kill any of the characters in the party at this point. Alright. No morale modifier. Gonna have to tithe. I'm not sure how much he's gonna tithe. Probably 10%. It's pretty standard. Even today in Christianity, tithing is 10%. So I'm gonna assume that's probably what it is. But I'll work that out later when I actually start. Yeah. So I'm getting a little faster at this. This one was 34 minutes so far, so we're done with Aetbert Cuthman for the most part. Like I said, I'll be selecting weapons and spending money and dealing with encumbrance, and finally put down a movement base when I see how things play out there. I think his base really is going to be 12 anyway, but I just want to make sure I get all this right before I document things, so I'll cover it when I do the party introduction stream, I'll talk about all those details that I didn't cover here. And that's it. This is where I'm going to leave it. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't seen the very first video, you ought to go back and check it out. It gives an explanation as to what I'm doing. It gives an explanation as to what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, and what I'm using to do it. This first edition AD&D solo campaign. Yeah. So, anyway, I guess I'll see you on another stream. Bye-bye.